The deployment's been failing for 40 minutes. Production traffic is routing to a dead endpoint. Customer orders timing out. Revenue bleeding by the second. And I'm the only one in the war room who knows exactly what's wrong. Sarah's sitting 3 feet away from me, arms crossed, waiting. She knows I know. The errors in her legacy platform. Hard-coded configuration she never documented. The fix takes 30 seconds if you know where to look. I learned where to look 2 years ago. After the third time, she let me drown.
Jake, talk to me. What are we looking at?
I could fix this right now. Pull up the config file, change one line, save the company $50,000 in lost orders. But I don't work on the legacy platform anymore. Sarah does. I'm not familiar with this part of the system. Sarah owns that code base. Everyone in the room turns to her. She's staring at me. This look I've never seen before. Not anger, not contempt. Fear. Because 3 years ago I would have stayed silent and fixed it anyway, grateful for the chance to prove myself, desperate to be useful. And she has no idea when that changed.
Sarah, can you get in there and resolve this?
She's still looking at me, mouth slightly open, like she's waiting for me to break, to jump in, to save her the way I always did. I don't. I lean back in my chair, cross my arms, mirror her posture exactly. Her eyes widen, just slightly.
I'll need to access the server. It might take some time to diagnose.
We don't have time. How long, Sarah?
I don't. 20 minutes? Maybe more?
Silence stretches across the line, heavy, suffocating. Get it done, now. She opens her laptop. Her hands are shaking. I watch her scramble through code she wrote but never explained to anyone. Typing, deleting, typing again, her breathing getting faster. Not because I'm cruel. Because 3 years ago, on a night exactly like this, she let me suffer alone until 6 in the morning while she slept. And now she's learning what that feels like. My first day as a junior developer, they assigned me to the legacy platform team, ancient proprietary code. No documentation. One person knew how it all worked. She'd been there 8 years, built her entire identity around being irreplaceable, and she made sure it stayed that way.
You'll need to ramp up on the system. Sarah will help you get oriented.
I remember walking to her desk that first time, eager, ready to learn. Hey Sarah, I'm Jake. Just wanted to introduce myself and see when might be a good time to go through the code-based architecture. She didn't look up from her screen.
There's no architecture document. You'll figure it out.
Oh, okay. Maybe we could do a quick walkthrough then? Just the main components? Now she looked at me. This expression I'd come to know well, slight smile. Dead eyes.
I don't really have time to hold hands. The code's all there. Read it.
I tried. God, I tried. 70,000 lines of undocumented code, custom frameworks, naming conventions that made no sense, dependencies buried 6 levels deep. Every question I asked her, she made me feel stupid for asking. Why are we using this custom ORM instead of standard libraries?
Because that's how it's built.
Right, but what was the reasoning?
It works. That's the reasoning.
In team meetings, she'd weaponize my confusion.
Jake's still struggling with basic deployment procedures. I've explained it multiple times, but
She hadn't explained it once. My manager would glance at me, disappointed, like I was the problem. And maybe I was. Maybe I just wasn't smart enough for this. That's what she wanted me to think. 3 months in, the platform had a critical failure. Production down, revenue stopped. I was the one on call. I spent 6 hours trying to diagnose it, reading through code I barely understood, following execution paths that led nowhere. Finally, at 2 a.m., I called Sarah. Hey, I'm really sorry to bother you, but we have a production outage and I can't figure out where.
did you check the cache and validation?
Yes, that's all.
Did you restart the background workers?
Yes, I tried.
Then I don't know what to tell you. Those are the usual problems.
Could you maybe jump on real quick? I'm just not familiar enough with.
Jake, I can't solve every problem for you. You need to develop independence.
She hung up. I stayed on the phone with support until 6 a.m. Eventually, a senior engineer from another team helped me find it. A hard-coded timeout value buried in a config file that wasn't version controlled. The next day, Sarah sent a team-wide email.
Reminder, always check timeout configurations before escalating issues. This is basic troubleshooting.
She copied my manager. That was the moment. Not dramatic, just clear. She wasn't gatekeeping because she was busy. She was gatekeeping because my incompetence proved her importance. If I succeeded, she was less necessary. So she'd make sure I never succeeded. I stopped asking her questions. Not out of spite, out of survival. I started staying late, reading through the codebase alone, making notes, building my own mental map, however incomplete. When I hit walls, I didn't go to Sarah. I went to Stack Overflow, I went to old forum posts, I went to archived emails from before she deleted the documentation. And slowly, I started volunteering for anything that wasn't her platform. Hey, I heard the team needs help with the API gateway migration.
Jake, you're assigned to Legacy Platform.
Right, but this is just a small side project. I can do it in addition. My manager hesitated. Sarah was in the meeting.
He barely understands the current system. Splitting focus seems unwise.
But I pushed, gently, persistently. I think it would actually help me understand modern patterns better, make me more effective on legacy work. I didn't believe that, but it sounded good. They let me try. The API Gateway project was clean, modern, well documented. I could actually learn there. I started building competence management could see. Meanwhile, every legacy platform deployment still required Sarah. Every production issue got escalated to Sarah. Every architectural decision went through Sarah. She was completely in control. And she had no idea she was building a cage. A year in, the company started talking about modernization. Just talk, at first. Executive visions, PowerPoints about technical debt and cloud-native architecture. Sarah wasn't worried. In an all-hands meeting, the CTO announced a 3-year platform migration strategy.
We'll be gradually deprecating legacy systems and moving to containerized microservices.
Sarah raised her hand.
The legacy platform handles critical business logic that can't just be migrated. We're talking about years of domain knowledge embedded in that code.
The CTO nodded.
Absolutely. That's why this is a 3-year plan. We'll need expertise from current platform owners to ensure smooth transition.
She smiled, like she'd just secured another decade of job security. After the meeting, I heard her talking to another senior dev.
They say this every few years. Then they realize how expensive it is and nothing changes. The platform isn't going anywhere.
But it was. Slowly, quietly. They started hiring engineers with Kubernetes experience, cloud architecture backgrounds, people who'd never touched the legacy platform. And they started listening to those people. I volunteered for every modernization project I could, not the glamorous ones, the boring infrastructure work, the migration planning, the documentation nobody wanted to write. I learned Docker, learned Terraform, learned observability tools. Sarah learned nothing new. She was too busy being the expert on the old system to notice the new system was being built around her. In meetings, the dynamic started shifting.
We need to expose this legacy functionality through a REST API.
That's not how the platform works. We'd have to refactor significant portions.
We could wrap it in a lightweight service layer, keep the core logic intact but provide a standard interface. The room would turn to me.
Can you spec that out, Jake?
Sarah's face. I remember her face. Not angry, confused. Like the rules had changed and nobody told her. 2 years in, I was leading a team. Not officially. I was still mid-level, but I was running the cloud migration for 3 major services. Sarah was still maintaining the legacy platform. Alone now. They'd reassigned the other junior devs to modern stack work.
I need more headcount. The platform is too complex for one person.
We understand, but we're prioritizing resources for the migration.
The platform still generates 30% of our revenue.
For now.
That word, for now. I don't think she heard it. The decline wasn't dramatic. Just erosion. First, they stopped building new features on her platform. No new development on legacy systems became policy. Then they stopped letting her attend architecture meetings. These are focused on future state. Then they offered her retraining.
Sarah, we'd love to get you ramped up on the containerization work. Jake's team has some onboarding materials.
I'm fine where I am.
We're just thinking long term. As the legacy platform winds down,
It's not winding down. You still depend on it.
we do. But that dependency is temporary by design.
She didn't take the retraining. 6 months later, they brought in a consulting firm to accelerate the migration. Sarah's platform was now sunset track, full deprecation scheduled for 18 months out. She fought it, documented every risk, every edge case, every reason the migration would fail. But the consultants had already built the replacement, modern, clean, actually documented. It worked. The day the legacy platform went into maintenance-only mode, Sarah's title changed. Not officially, but everyone knew. She wasn't a senior engineer anymore, she was a custodian. Budget cuts came next.
We're eliminating the legacy platform team. The code will be maintained by contractors on an as-needed basis during the sunset period.
Sarah was offered a choice. Join a modern team as a mid-level engineer, reporting to people she used to outrank. Or take severance. She took severance. That was a year ago. Now I'm reviewing contractor applications for the final sunset work, 6-month gig, part-time, maintaining code that's already scheduled for deletion. And there's her name, Sarah Chin. Available for contract work. I approve it. Not because I forgive her, not because I don't remember, because it doesn't matter anymore. The hierarchy has already reversed. She'll log in next week. She'll see the names on the team dashboard. Junior developers she never trained, engineers she dismissed, all of them leading the systems that replaced hers. And she'll maintain the legacy code, alone, until it's turned off. No confrontation needed. No explanation required. She built her castle on a platform she made sure only she understood. And when the platform became irrelevant, so did she. I think about sending her a message sometimes, something gracious, professional. Looking forward to working together. But I don't. Because we're not working together. She's working for me now. And that contrast is the only message that matters. Thank you so much for listening to this story. I really appreciate you being here. If this one resonated with you, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Have you ever worked with someone who gatekept knowledge, or watched someone refuse to adapt while the world moved on? Share your experience if you're comfortable. And here's something I love asking. Drop a comment telling me where in the world you're listening from and what time it is there right now. It's amazing to me that this community spans so many time zones, and I love seeing where these stories land. Thanks again. I'll see you in the next one.